Good morning, guys. Happy July 1st. So I'm down at the park. I'm getting ready to go for a run, and this morning I was listening to watching a video, and it was on a topic that's very near and dear to me. It's a topic that I think many people ignore, and it's a topic that impacts millions, if not billions of people around the world, but millions in my country, in the United States. And there was also another topic that was on my mind, but I'm gonna record two videos so I don't make them too long. So I'm trying to make this one as quick as possible so I can get out for my run. So the topic is homelessness, and we see how rampant homelessness has become in the United States. If you're watching from another country, I don't know what it's like in your country. So if you can kindly comment in this video in the comments, just put down what country you're from if you want to, or just how bad, or if it's not bad, homelessness is in your country. So today I was watching this video on the top 10 poorest states in the United States, and it really broke my heart to see that we have people in our country who are living in such squalor and such dire conditions. I mean, in Mississippi, I think Mississippi was #1 in Mississippi. They have the average household income is $25,000 a year. I can't even imagine living on $50,000 a year, never mind $25,000. So the purpose of my video is because we want politicians to do more. We want politicians to help more. In this country, we see how, as I said, how bad it is. And we're one of the richest nations in the world, supposedly the strongest, most powerful nation in the world. And to see these kind of conditions in our country, it's really saddening, because I see how our government, how we send hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't help other countries, but we should help our own first. As I was telling somebody the other day, to me, it's like I work real hard to provide for my family, and when I get paid, instead of going out and buying for my family, providing for my family, instead of doing that, I go and feed my neighbor's family first before feeding my own, and then not having enough for my own. That's foolishness. So, I mean, we see over $200 billion sent to a war that, in my opinion, we shouldn't even be involved in. Instead, we should be taking care of our own country here. And we're even letting people stream across the border, people who can't afford it, and who we can't afford to take care of. And they're in dire conditions, dire straits, and, you know, they're coming from real poor countries, and I understand, and I pity for them, and my heart breaks for them. Listen, I came from another country, a very, very, very poor country, and I was blessed with the opportunity to come here 50 years ago. But, excuse the helicopter, but my family, thank God my dad instilled good morals and ethics in us. We didn't come here to be a burden on this nation. We didn't come here to suck it dry. As a matter of fact, my father was so proud that he wouldn't take any help from the government. But, you know, my uncle convinced him that when we first came here, you're going to need some help in the beginning. And my dad's goal was to try and get off assistance as quick as possible. And within 6 months, I believe it was like 6 months. I was young. I wasn't like 6, 7. But within 6 months of being in this country, I believe my father got us off of welfare and any government aid. He got 2 jobs. He worked hard, and my mom worked. And you know, it's something that you instill in your children. But anyway, so going back to the homelessness, I know that some people are homeless out of their own choices. I mean, it wasn't their own doing. They lost a job, and, you know, they were living paycheck to paycheck and things like that. And but sadly, some people are, because they choose that, hey, you know what, this is easier for me, instead of having some you know, some responsibilities, instead of, hey, the government can help me, can take care of me and things like that. That's not a way to live. But anyway, but for those people who do live in these situations, the people who are homeless, you know, out of their own, you know, because it's not of their own doing. And for people who are living in bad conditions, I think that, you know, we can't count on the government to help these people. You know, we know that the government has their own agendas. They want to do their own things, and they don't care what you do. And so, I mean, people say, well, you can vote and make a difference. You can vote for politicians that are going to make a difference. And that's all, you know, come on, we really know already. We really know. My sister used to tell me, you know, your vote doesn't matter. It does and it doesn't, because at the end of the day, politicians are going to do what politicians do. So we can't rely and we can't count on the politicians to help people out as much as we should be helping them as a government. So we need to drill down, and we need to bring it down to an individual level. And my thing is, you as an individual, what can you do to help not change the country, not change your state, maybe even not your community, but what can you do as an individual to help one person, to impact one person? And I mean, I'm not gonna brag on myself or my wife and anything like that, but we donate on a monthly basis to at least 6, maybe 7 charities. We help people out when we see them on the street. Just recently, a couple of weeks ago, my wife and I saw this lady with a young kid, and she was begging and asking for food. So we asked her, you know, what do you need? No, that's a different story. We didn't ask her. We were going food shopping at the time. So what did we do? We just went and bought stuff, and then we went back, and she was still there, and we gave her, I believe it was like 4 or 5 bags full of food. And the smile on her face, the smile on the kid's face was priceless. To us, that was more than anything anybody could do for us, to put a smile like that on their face and on our hearts, because we were able to help out. And I know not everybody is able to help out at that, you know, that level, but whatever, if you can just give somebody a sandwich, somebody a meal, if you can just give somebody a bottle of water. Just the other day, I was down at the park where I usually go at lunchtime, and I noticed this van. This is another thing I want to touch on. So I noticed this van, and it was the same van every day. I would see the same van every day for like weeks, 2-3 weeks at a time, the same van. And, you know, this park is like right around the corner from my job, so I'm like, what's going on with that? And then sometimes at night, when I go for my workout, that's one of the parks I go to, and I noticed the van there. So I just felt the pulling in my heart, and I went to the lady, and I said to her, I said, it was a lady, and it looked like she was living out of her van. So I asked, I said, is there anything you need? Can I help you in any way? And it broke my heart when she says, do you have any water on you? That's all she asked for. She didn't say any money. She just says, do you have any water on you? And luckily, I always try to make sure I have some water in my truck. I had a case of seltzer water. I didn't have regular water, but seltzer water. And I had bought that case for my son. So I went in, I took the case, and I gave it to her, and she was very happy. The next day, I went to the store, and I picked up a whole bunch of bags full of food, and I took it to her, and the smile on her heart, and I thought she was going to start crying. That's how we can make a difference, guys. That's how you, as an individual, can make a difference. You got to be aware of these people. You got to look around and see people, and you approach them kindly. Some homeless people don't want to be bothered. And there's other stories that I could share, personal stories, but I won't, because I'm not trying to make this about myself or anything like that. I'm just trying to prove a point and just tell you guys that you can make a difference in somebody's life. You can make a difference in somebody's day, okay? That one meal might have gotten that person to the next day, and somebody else steps in, and so on and so on. And that person might get to a point where they'll become self-sufficient. They'll be able to overcome whatever barriers, whatever obstacles, whatever trials have come in their lives. So I challenge you today, if you have the means to help one person, I'm not telling you to help a whole state, county, you know, community, whatever, one person, just impact one person. And if everybody who's watching this video does that, how many people will be impacted? If we get 100 views on this video, if we get 1,000 views, that's how many more people we will impact. And that's all we can do, guys. I mean, as a Christian, I've been telling myself lately, I can't save the world. Obviously, I can't save anybody. Only the Lord does the saving, but I can't save the world. But I can impact one person's life. And again, I challenge you guys to do the same thing. Go and make a difference in somebody else's life. God bless you, my friends, and share this video. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so that this message can go to a wider audience, and so that other people can hear this message and they can also be challenged to step up and help somebody else. God bless you, and have a nice 4th of July weekend.